Afternoon then, welcome along to the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow. It is day 2 of the EuroHockey Championship 2 and we have a couple of games for you today focusing on these four sides. It is Switzerland against Wales first up, later on with the Czech Republic against Russia, but we're going to be focusing on this one. It should be a good game. This was a tight game when they played in the World League here last year. There is a look at Pool B. It was 3 points for both Russia and Wales yesterday, and we're looking to build on that, which would edge them towards the semi-final stage. Let's look at the sides and let's look at Switzerland. First of all, they lost 3-2 against Russia. Jan Hudel, though, does score goals, a top scorer in the World League with Switzerland. He scored 2 yesterday and could well be looking to add to that. Manuel Keller is the captain for the side. Nick Schwer can be someone that you can look out for at penalty corners. He is a lively player, and the two vice Shodas had a decent performance, decent outing yesterday. For Wales, well, Gareth Furlong is that machine that is a goal scorer from penalty corners. Continued that form yesterday. Lewis Prosa, one of the captains, he is going to be leading his side, and it is a side that we're looking to build on their 3-point start yesterday. Look at the options off the sidelines that will be rotating on, including Dale Hutchison, who likes a goal here in Glasgow. So sides line up. We'll have the anthems in just a moment as we look forward to a couple of days, a couple of games for today from this pool. And we will now make that pause, I'm sure, for the national anthems, and we will begin with the Swiss anthem. So the anthem sung from both sides. The umpires in the middle, Thomas Holick of the Czech Republic, Xavier Fenart of France, and alongside myself, Callum Patterson in the commentary box for this first game here of day 2 of this championship is Mark Fulton, president of Kelburn, ex-Scotland player as well. Mark, great to have you with us. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, very much so. Second game of the tournament, so it should be a very competitive game. Obviously, with both teams playing yesterday, no room for a lot of rest, and they're straight into game 2.
We had 4 cracking games. I know you were around, especially seeing the Scotland game last night, but it was a great day. The weather wasn't so good, but there was some good action already for the 4 sides here, particularly these 2 in this first game. Big things to play for because it can make or break your campaign.
Yeah, very much so. I think there's a lot of emphasis always placed on the first game of the tournament, but in essence the second game is almost just as important. For Wales, obviously they're looking to build on the victory they had yesterday, and for the Swiss it's really a chance to regroup and also give themselves a chance to get back in contention for the semi-final spot.
Well, they played each other here at World League One in Glasgow at the back end of summer into the autumn. It was a really tight affair. Jan Houdel actually scored for Switzerland to give them the lead before half-time, but it was Gareth Furlong and Luke Hawker that got the job done, but it was far from the most convincing Wales performance. Switzerland played really well in that game. In a tournament where out the 5 sides, Switzerland were very much the third best by a mile, but not quite good enough to try and challenge Scotland and Wales. They may well sense then with that previous form against Wales and the fact that they played pretty well, just edged out in the end yesterday, that they might see themselves as a bit of an upset here, Switzerland.
Yeah, very much so. I think it'll be a very cagey affair. I think both teams will maybe set up to not get beat and look to take advantage of any penalty corner opportunities they've got. Obviously you've got Gareth Furlong on the Welsh team, who is a set piece expert who scored a lot of goals, and he will certainly be looking to add to his tally today.
Yeah, certainly someone that's very much talked about a lot. I think we were talking about him plenty before we were on air, and just how pivotal he is at penalty corner situations, just so lethal. But we shall see how things develop here. Wales with their black tops here, going from right to left to get things going for the first match of the day. 2 games with Czech Republic and Russia later, but a good one to start off in lovely conditions. It's sunny, a little breeze, but if you spoke to us about an hour and 15 minutes ago, it was lashing it down when you're arriving at the hockey centre. It's a classic Scottish summer. Here is Gareth Furlong with some early possession for Wales.
You can see already the Swiss playing a half-court press. So quite happy to sit in their own half, let the Welsh centre-backs have the ball, and then when the opportunity strikes they will try and pick them off.
Gooch then back to Furlong. Schwer trying to keep Furlong tight towards the line. So we'll look at a different idea. James Kyriakidis, a little spin, nice move to gain forward momentum. Trying to keep all of it was Francis in the day. Wales with an early penetrating move.
I think the key there for the Welsh was patience. So they went down one side, there was no options on the left hand side here. They transferred the ball back round to the right, blocked the ball into the D, and a bit of a soft penalty corner, but I'm sure they'll take it.
Yeah, certainly a moment to think about it, the umpire, and it was given. So within what, little over a minute, penalty corner. Well, we've just teed up Gareth Furlong quite a bit before in the build-up and before the tournament, so we'll see if he can deliver like he did yesterday. And these early stages for Wales would be the perfect start for them. Shipley to inject here for this penalty corner. Shipley in. Gareth Furlong does take it, but clear away from the keeper, and then the Swiss player. So penalty corner one, and it's dealt with.
Good bit of teamwork there from the goalkeeper and the man in the line. It's very important that they two are in unison to ensure that there's no silly mistakes on the line to allow the ball to trundle through. So that was very positive from the Swiss side there to keep that out so early.
We've been plenty of conversation about the Scotland goalkeeper last night. And the sublime save he had, but plenty of faith here in Jonas Verest, the 19-year-old 10th cap. Plays with Namur in Belgium.
I think obviously there's a lot of emphasis put on the attacking players in hockey, but the difference between having a good goalkeeper, particularly in tournaments, can be the difference between winning the tournament and not. And I think you've seen that yesterday with Tommy Alexander's crucial save from the penalty. It obviously inspired the team to go on and get victory. And it's the same for all the teams. If you have a strong goalkeeper, then you've got a far better chance of winning games and then winning tournaments.
Shipley to the D. James Kyriakides is trying to keep it alive. Away it comes though with Florian Feller for the Swiss, just trying to nail down a bit of possession, but they're struggling to do so in the first 3 minutes.
I think for the Swiss they just need to spend a little bit of time on the ball, take a little bit more care.
Mikael Morad down the channel for Hurdle. Doing well to try and win his way past Proser.
Again, time for the Swiss here to set up maybe a set play.
Yves Morad to get it back. It's another Morad. Mikael, high and over it goes. They'll come back on the side in white and black.
Wales defending very deep here, everyone in their own 25.
One win from Grader. Triple away, back it will go. Have another try. Tried to maintain a bit of momentum here. They've picked up the last minute or so.
Teams will generally defend their circle very well from that position, so you've got to move the ball quickly in order to create the space to get the ball into the D.
Marco Mikael to twist and turn to go by the baseline. Certainly very quickly they were up there, but it's now back. Trying to work something a bit different here. It's been fairly comfortable defensively for Wales. You guys have Mikael Morad again linking up. Good turn from Hurdle to get by his opposite number initially. Mikael Morad trying to keep it alive for the Swiss. That will come to an end, that move.
Lots of pressure there from the Swiss, but Wales dealt with it fairly comfortably. They just protected their feet in and around the circle and made it quite difficult for the Swiss to really penetrate into the D to get any sort of goal shot or opportunity. Again, that's exactly what the Swiss are looking to do, for the Wales centre-backs to distribute the ball into the midfield. And as soon as the midfielder picks up the ball, there's 2 or 3 people trying to steal the ball there, and it worked perfectly.
Jan Hurdle tried to blast forwards. Free hit here for the Swiss Martin Grader. Getting on with it quickly. Nice space here which could open up things. Jan Hurdle trying to slide in. Always going to get full set to get anything on that. Marco Mikael with the delivery in. And here James Kyriakides just working out the space well to find Draper.
Again, just taking the ball into the challenge there. Very good play. He knows the tackle's going to come. He's waiting for the foul almost, and he just wins the foul and gets the pressure off his team.
Closer to James Kyriakides again, who scored yesterday. Decided to be the goal that won the game. Good play this from Wales. Hutchinson looking to try and get it back. Penalty corner, another one for Wales here. That's their second of the game so far.
Again, a similar situation to the first penalty corner for Wales, in that they had a bit of patience at the back. They played the ball into the midfield. They got the ball wide. Both teams are playing very compact in defence. So the key will be for both teams to look for space on the outside, and they've won the penalty corner.
So then, long conversation going on. The Swiss getting ready. It will be Dale Hutchison this time to inject here for Wales. James Carson around, but Gareth Furlong is in the pocket too. It's going to be Carson, and deflected but wide. Something a bit different from Wales this time.
Yeah, maybe a subtle change there. They went to the opposite stopper, but also the left-hand side stopper moved, so they're trying to distract the defensive team. The defensive team will be trying to work out where it's going before it gets there. So anything you can do to try and put them off or make them think it's going somewhere different will give you an extra little bit of time to get the shot away. But again, the Swiss, very solid in defence.
Nice ball last for Mikael Morard in space. Trying to get by Denny.
Lots of emphasis in hockey on the attacking penalty corners, but I think it's important to know that teams will practice defensive penalty corners just as much. There'll be a certain amount of players who try and have certain positions and try and keep the ball out.
Hutchison picking this one back up and trying to get it away. It's lofted up just to safety more than anything else.
Again, Wales not in a hurry to press here, so they're quite happy to sit. It's about half court, maybe 60 metres. Again, letting the centre backs have the ball. There's a little bit more space now.
Manuel Keller for Reinhardt here. Smashed and driven in, and Hope.
That was a little bit unlucky there for the Swiss. He just let the centre back pick up the ball, put him under that little bit of pressure, but the umpire deemed it was a foul.
Nicholas Stefan just the other side, experienced head, 64th cap for him, the 31-year-old. Nice this for Kelly, but just letting that out of his grasp.
Again, still very congested in the midfield. Both teams packing the midfield, trying to nullify each other. Got to look to try and penetrate in the open spaces.
Mugridge now trying to weave his way. Fair cop as Swiss get it back. Grader going for Stomps, nice bit of play past Daniel Kyriakidis. Here's Hudson trying to keep him out wide.
Again, nice bit of skill there, but not really making any inroads in towards the D.
One from Yves Morard, but no one in white claiming. One back here, Boris Stomps persistent.
The Swiss team did a lot of good work between the 25s, but really what they need to be looking to do is when they get into the final 25, is looking to get the ball into the D. You know, if you get the ball in there, you maybe get a little deflection onto a foot, which would get you a penalty corner.
Hutchison turns into a nice bit of space here. Couple in the D.
Just let a nudge off the ball there. Again, Swiss packing the D.
Denny for Mugridge.
Lots of space on the left-hand side here to get it round.
Closer sees Gooch. Hitting that one off Yves Morard, so he take it on quickly. Gooch looking to find the space here and is finding Denny. Can he keep it alive? No, just off the baseline there. I mean, just a touch too quick.
Gooch looking to find the space here and
I think that's what Wales need to be looking to do, though.
Can he keep it alive?
The Swiss are very organised. Swiss are traditionally quite an indoor nation, so they're very good at setting up. They move very quickly from side to side. If you can move the ball quickly through the lines, then you've got a chance to get yourself into the D.
Benoit Weiss should run into 3 or 4 black bodies. Keller, little no-look pass. And support behind him in Mikael Morard. Schneider helped on its way and one back by Nick Schwer. Nice up off the leg. Boris Storm's anxious to get going.
Again, that was a little bit of a hopeful ball in there, but again he's managed to come off a Welsh foot, and he's got them in a better position.
Schneider trying to weave it in. Hammer across, did it come off a foot? It looked like it maybe came off a Welsh or a Swiss foot. Well, certainly one or two complaints that came off. I think it maybe came off Jonathan England there. But anyway, the signal's out for the penalty corner initially, but the umpire's got a little chat about this. Here's a replay here on the
hammer across, did it come off a foot?
Keep before the penalty corner. He's at his near post, the ball's come across. He's moved very, very quickly. He's slid across his goal. He's made the save, and it's ended up not being a penalty corner. So, fantastic save there by David Kettle. Yeah,
good teamwork from the umpires. No video referrals here, so the umpires got to rely on each other. Looked like the right call in the end.
Again, it's just coming up to the end of the quarter. Neither team will go to be conceding a goal just now, so they'll be quite happy to let the other team have the ball quite deep in their own half. No real rush to put any pressure on them, quite happy just to sit and let them pass the ball around the back, hoping that they maybe make a little mistake, and then they'll go and press the ball.
Schneider trying to hammer it. Came off Draper, but stays with the Swiss and Apel. Schneider now though for side in white. Side that really could do with winning. Settle throw a bit of a spanner into the group. Fairly quickly forward, but maybe a bit too quick on his teammate. Martin Greda around. Also there is Schneider trying to win it back.
It'll be interesting to see how the game pans out in terms of who scores first. Obviously Wales with the victory yesterday can maybe be a little bit more relaxed, whereas the Swiss really need to win today, so it's whether they'll throw a bit more caution to the wind as the game goes on.
Gareth Furlong forward for Shipperley. He's a real handful, Shipperley. Bit of physical play. Here he is once more. Down that channel, Mugridge decides to leave it for Kelly. Mugridge is going to get this back. Nice play this from Wales. Alright, goes the other way.
Another strong challenge there from the Swiss. I think Wales might be looking for a penalty corner there, but it looked like a clean take to me. Both teams are very good at individual 1v1 defence, so again it's very important that you move the ball quickly. Little wall passes like the Welsh did a second ago can give you a chance to create a 2 versus 1, which will give you a great opportunity in the D.
Run back well. James Kiriakidis forward. A bit too quickly for Shipperley. Here's Jan Hudel. Try and weave away from Gooch and a couple of others. Finally has some help from Keller. It didn't last too long as Mugridge steals it away.
Both teams are guilty of maybe giving away possession too cheaply. Welsh maybe not the detail on the pass that was needed, and certainly the Swiss maybe dwelling on the ball too long when a pass was maybe the better option.
Lobbed up by Kelly. Hawker is there, and I think Mika Morar needed another pair of eyes just to make sure that he was safe. It's a little bit dicey.
Again, the Swiss will just be quite happy to keep the ball here. Time running down.
And that will do for the end of the quarter. And well, maybe we're talking about it beforehand, it might be a cagey start to this one. It has been like that, not too many clear-cut chances for Switzerland or Wales. 0-0 it is as we head into the couple minutes breather. Assessment then, well, summed up, it's been a cagey first 15.
I think it's pretty much as we expected. Both teams are setting out really to not lose, if that's fair. They're both setting up very solid in the middle of the park, trying to force the opposition to play the ball wide. I think what's happening just now is both teams are playing the ball wide, but it's maybe a bit slow. So maybe they speed it up or transfer the ball a little bit quicker from side to side, where they can maybe open up gaps when people are not maybe making the defensive movement that they need to be making.
So this is the first of two games, remember, at 6:30 here in Glasgow. It's the other game from this group, Czech Republic against Russia. I think the quiet whispers are that Russia should well edge that one, but we've seen yesterday with the games we've had, particularly if you look at Scotland, France, and the way that the rankings actually, Wales are back in the second tier in Europe. Have had a great 12-15 months or so, and they're about the second lowest ranked side here. Some people might say that doesn't make a lot of sense really. It just shows you that there isn't too much between all these sort of second tier sides in Europe.
No, very much so. I think even in the top tier there's probably a top 6, and then within the 8 teams that are here and the 2 teams that got promoted last time, then they probably kind of sit more or less the same against each other. On any day they could probably beat each other. I think it's great for the tournament itself here, because it means that whenever you come to watch, you're going to see highly competitive games. Yes, very close, very cagey, but highly competitive where there's a lot of drama because it might not be a lot of goals.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned, I think yesterday once or twice, it's a bit difficult because these sides are all very good, but the top 6 are just that little bit ahead, so teams that tend to come up from this level find it hard. It's too late for them to acclimatise, and they're usually already relegated or near enough relegated. It's very difficult to try and stay in the top flight, but for these sides, something they'd love to do.
I think the main difficulty would be contact time. I think the top 6 more or less are full-time professional hockey players. I know certainly some of the countries will come together for a period of time before a tournament, maybe 2 or 3 months, but if you compare that to playing 12 months a year, then the difference is very marked.
Wales have had their tough time, as we mentioned, went down into the 3rd tier for 2015, relegated in 2013, managed to get themselves back up pretty quickly.
I think they have a lot of players who play in the English League as well, so that certainly helps their squad. I know they have a number of players who play at Surbiton, Gareth Furlong being one, Lewis Prosser being the other, and David Kettle I know plays for Hampstead, I think. So that would certainly bring a lot of experience to the squad, and the younger players can then learn from them and develop as well.
Here comes Switzerland with Florian Feller. Managed to work a tiny gap. Still trying to keep it alive. Did it bounce off a foot? No, it didn't. Certainly not in the protest that Feller was trying to lead.
Again, that's where the Swiss just have to be a little bit better. They've got themselves in a really good position in the D. He has the ball on his front stick, but he's kind of just throwing a hopeful pass or a hopeful ball there to try and get something just to be a bit cleverer. He'd win himself a penalty corner.
Johnny Gooch forward. Is that a little clip from Hurdle? Like it on James Kyriakidis. Kelly forward in a bit of hope. I've talked about the weather really brightening up for the start of this game. I'm sure you may be able to see, if not here, it's absolutely lashed it down.
Could actually start to be a factor in the game. The pitch itself does start to hold water a little bit quickly. It can become very slippery underfoot.
Seen that a lot yesterday in the games. Didn't need the hoses to water because there's so much coming from the sky throughout the day, and there's a lot of slipping around.
Players just need to be a little bit more careful in and around their own D. If they're going that little bit quickly, they might slip, and that would probably lead to a penalty corner against them.
Nicest from Carson to wriggle away. Very nice indeed, and skiffs by Alf, didn't he?
Again, where Wales are getting a lot of success is when they get the ball down the outside channel, getting the ball to the baseline. Nice bit of skill there from Carson, just lifting it over, and just needed a stronger touch, and that would have deflected it towards the goal.
That's stolen here by Dolan Gray, and he scores, and that is punishing, and sticking to the post by Yves Morard, because he knows he just threw that one away. It's an easy finish in the end and an easy goal. What a poor goal to concede though.
I think hopefully that'll really open up the game. He's just stolen the ball, he's got in the D, he's taken it on his reverse, and that's a fantastic finish. He's put it in just off the inside of the backboard. Player from Wales there just sliding in to make sure, but that should open up the game hopefully. Switzerland now will have to come out and try and be a bit more aggressive in their play, which will leave potentially more space for Wales to play in behind. Defensively
though, that is one of those that if you're going to concede the goal, probably not the way to do it.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult there. He's on the ball, he's trying to look forward. The forward's nipped in. I mean, the goalkeeper's probably not set either, so from that point of view, very disappointing to lose a goal like that.
Dolan Gray with 77th cap today for Wales. Win the clutch of them that do play with Cardiff Met. And 1-0 to the Welsh. As forward here comes Sandro Reinhard. There was Furlong thought to win it back in the tight spot to try and weave out of.
Again, good play by Furlong there, not taking under a lot of pressure there, but just taking his time, working the ball out, although the umpire has given it the other way now.
Press in there was Hutchinson.
You can see the difference that goal's already made to Wales. They're a little bit more aggressive in their press already. Just that extra couple of steps makes it much more difficult for the player to get the ball past.
Back it goes to Keller. Over the space, time to fire one at real Skelf. There's protest line and penalty corner eventually given after clearly maybe a conversation between the umpires, but the protests were up there, and well, I think it was well, let's have a look at this first.
Okay, it looks again a bit messy, but the Swiss have got the ball into the D. That's what's important, and the ball's been lifted, I think, off Kettle and goals, and it's come off the Welsh player's body. So I'm not really sure what they're arguing about. It looks like a pretty clear penalty corner to me.
It was Martin Monaghan yesterday in one of our games was saying that if majority of this team are up there shouting at the umpire, clearly it sounds like there's something wrong. Well, there's certainly a fair few of them not happy with the fact that nothing was coming, but eventually awarded.
I think it's sometimes important the umpire gets a couple of seconds just to make the decision. It's not something we like to see people shouting at the umpire.
Well, Sandro Reinhard to inject here. Schwer leaves it and it's trickled away. Michael Morard with the attempt at goal.
Okay, the Swiss gone for a bit of an option. Wales obviously expecting to flick off the top. They've switched the ball to the left, and what they're looking for there is the two players that are sliding in for a little bit of a deflection. Either they've gone too early or maybe the pass has been a little bit behind. But it would have been a good option had they managed to execute it, because Wales was certainly looking for the ball off the top. Both teams will have done their homework on the penalty corners, though. They'll be aware of what options teams like to run. Whether it's just a straight flick off the top, or there are any options they might do to the left or to the right, and they'll be well prepared for it.
Kyriakidis has it. James Kyriakidis, that is. Here is Shipperley.
Very busy player, Shipperley.
Bit of work for Draper to keep hold, which he did.
Yeah, no options to get the ball out to the right here.
Forward and drilled in. Hawker looking to try and get the touch in the D. Will remain with Wales.
Both teams definitely employing the kind of getting the ball into the D early, hoping for a mistrap or a poor pickup that means that they can pounce on it or get a penalty corner.
Furlong for Hawker. Just trying to pinch it away. Yves Morard from Hawker racing into the circle.
Wales again getting success on the left hand side. patient in their build-up, waiting for the lead from the forward to the outside. In this case it was Hawker. Unfortunate not to get himself into the D.
Furlong. Quite in his plan book that, so Howdell will try and get something going quickly. Clapping off the stick of Kyriakidis, so play on.
Suspect that may be a card in a second.
Howdell's done so well to keep this alive. Yep, you're right there. Here comes a green card for James Kyriakidis.
Not bad, unfortunate. He's genuinely tried to get the ball, but he's made contact with the stick first, and I think the umpire's not really got an option there to give him a green card for breaking down play, or attempting to break it down.
So they've got just under a couple of minutes here for Switzerland to maybe try and work something with a man extra.
I think Wales will just be quite happy to keep the ball. Again, looking at the way Switzerland are now setting up, they're just setting off, so you know Wales can quite happily just pass the ball between themselves for the next 2 minutes till Kyriakidis gets himself back on the pitch. Switzerland really need to be trying to take a bit more of a risk, maybe pushing a player towards the ball as they're starting to do now.
Furlong was trying to weave, but now could put his side under a bit of pressure, but well cleaned up there by Johnny Gooch.
I think in this situation I'd like to see the Swiss being a bit more adventurous. They do have a man up. There's not really a lot of pressure on them at the back. They can maybe push maybe one or two players towards the ball to try and win it higher up the pitch.
Shipley trying to get that back. And here come the Swiss again, Marielli. Back it goes though. Marco Mikel. Yves Morard. Gail Vaishuda trying to fire in.
Again, Wales very organised, a lot of discipline in the defence. Everyone knows who they're marking.
Gail has time to fire, came off Furlong initially, Prosser out. Some help from Daniel Kyriakidis. And this will be just about the end of a couple of minutes, so nothing really being created by the Swiss.
I think they'd be disappointed with that. You've got to take advantage of these opportunities, especially at this level, and particularly when the games are so tight. But a lot of experience in the Wales backline, so it's no surprise to see them quite easily see out the 2 minute time period. Again, Wales just waiting for an opportunity to play the ball into midfield.
Shipley turned.
I think you can see the difference with Wales now having the goal advantage. You know, they're not in such a hurry to go forward. They can look for their passes. They can take their time a bit more, wait for the right option to go forward. Lots of rotations in the midfield, looking to create that space.
Francis wanted it and he has got it. And Wales will keep it down into the final third. Just over 4 minutes left in this second quarter.
Swiss again, very deep, very deep.
Prosser here looking for a bit of help. Carson behind, there he is. Prosser using all of his eyes in the back of his head to find that ball.
Again, needs to get the ball out here.
Looking for Shipperley. Shipperley's off and Mugridge might need to clean up here, but taken in away goes Bema Vaishuda, but only briefly. Never a lot of help.
Again, Shipperley in a strong position there, but all he's really done there is run straight at the Swiss defender. Swiss defender just puts his stick on the ground and he gets the ball. He needs to be moving the ball out of that channel, creating a new space on the other side, and then they can penetrate in the D.
Gooch for Prosser.
Prosser really is controlling the game at the moment. He's quite happy sitting in the middle of the pitch, looking for the ball at every opportunity. He's always looking around him to see what's on. If there's nothing on, he gives it back, and he's ready to go again.
Perfect anchor, really, you could say, in the middle of the park.
Very important to have that in your team. It means that the rest of the attacking players can go with a bit of freedom, knowing that he's there to cover if necessary.
Draper smashed it off Boris Stomps. There's Draper once more. Turn away from Dolan Gray, the goal scorer. Profited from a mistake in the Swiss defence. You know, talked about last year World League 1 in Glasgow, how tight it was between these two. It's tight here, just the mistake, the difference, but Shipley trying to inject a bit of magic. Is there the support there? Certainly was held up for someone, but a bit more help required. Trying to get away, Marco Mikel, and did.
Again, it's not always necessary to try and score a great goal. If you can get the ball in the D, you know, people start to panic, defenders start to panic forwards, start getting around the ball, getting around the goal. There's almost an opportunity there to add number 2.
Space for Daniel Kyriakides. Draper, that's a bit of a waste.
The Wales are starting to create a lot of chances here, they just need to be a little bit more careful. There's a good opportunity there to get the ball into the D again. Just a little bit more care in the pass would have created an opportunity.
That's stolen very easily by Daniel Kyriakides. And is there a break on here? Mugridge to the middle if required for Carson. Just barged off a little bit.
Good anticipation there, he read the ball coming through, just stepped through, took the ball and then moved it quickly.
Johnny Gooch, that's nice play. Space for Shipperley. There's a couple of minds there with it, trying to find a little gap to take a shot or find a teammate. Neither happened in the end.
Yeah, very much looked like he was in 2 minds there. I think initially he was looking to create a little bit of space to try and get a shot off, but when that wasn't there, he did look for a pass, but he didn't look like he knew he was passing it to him.
Final 30 seconds then here of the first half in this quarter.
Wales will be looking to keep this one, keep the ball out here. We're in at half-time, 1-0, you know, great confidence boost for them.
Stumps trying to twist away. Trailer lost out, thought. And they're trying to hammer something quickly, and right at the very death. Well, it's a yellow card. He's thinking, oh, there's a green card, take that. But it's going to be a yellow card for 5, and it's been a bit of a mare of a first half for Yves Morard. Gave away the ball for the goal and has been yellow carded, and Jan Houdel across, and a bit of a mess from the Swiss towards the end of the first period. The 2 umpires heading away, and that ball will do. Don't a silly green card or 2 for back chatting.
I'm really not sure why the Swiss are complaining. Yeah, the Welsh player's missed the ball, but he's left his feet, he's slid in, he's taken the player. I mean, in football that would be a yellow card. I'm not sure why they're complaining. I think there's a clear directive that if you do leave your feet making a tackle, then it's going to be a straight yellow card. I don't think there's any room for them to be complaining there.
So then let's look at something of a brighter note. It was for Wales. There was the goal and punishing from the Swiss, but well executed and taken.
Yeah, again, he's just stolen the ball. The Swiss defender's dwelling on it, and Dolan Gray there. I mean, he's got himself in a great position. You know, fantastic reverse stick shot, and he's really given the goalkeeper no chance from that angle.
Here's 1 or 2 other moments from the first period, the first couple of periods of the game. Penalty corner has not really been too hot so far in the game for either side. This was one of the moments, but nothing really coming from there. The Swiss, about as close as they've came, really.
I think the Swiss are relying a lot on the kind of just a crash ball into the D. They are getting some reward from it, but they really need to be making more use of the ball. I mean, you can see the tackle there. I mean, that is I really don't know why they're complaining. That is a clear yellow card. He's left his feet. He's taken the player. and the rules are the rules.
When it's like 4 seconds left in the clock, chances of getting a ball up in time to get something on goal is in zero effectively.
I think it's just about a bit about game management, understanding what part of the game you're in. As you say, there was no opportunity there for them to get the ball into the D, to have a clear shot. He's just kind of lost his head a little bit there, and his team's going to be down probably for 5 minutes, I would expect, at the start of the second half, which could prove crucial.
So we'll take a pause there at the break. We'll be back in a few minutes' time ahead of the second period, but at the moment then it is Wales who have the lead by a goal to nil. Welcome back to the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow for game 1 for today in Pool B, and it is Switzerland 0, Wales 1 in this very interesting game, a bit cagey. Just confirmation, Yves Morar thought it was going to be a 5-minute, but it's a 10-minute suspension, so even worse. I think he kind of still thought at the end, like, oh, it'll be a quick couple of minutes. It was a little bit cynical, but here he is, he's going to be missing for 10. And, well, it's a very punishing mistake with literally seconds on the clock at the end of the second quarter. And Mark Fulton alongside himself, Callum Patterson, here in the commentary box. That must mean that Wales surely have to take this 10 minutes in this quarter to try and put this game to bed, essentially.
Yeah, very much so. I think that could prove pivotal. If Wales can take advantage of the extra man, then they create a lot of goal shots, they can create penalty corners, and they can finish this game in the next 10 minutes. I think as we discussed, it was a very, very silly challenge. There was nothing really going on. He's just kind of thrown himself in for no reason, kind of lost his head a little bit, and he could put his team out of this game quite quickly. I think the key thing for the Swiss will be, though, to keep the ball, keep it nice and simple. You can already see Wales being a lot more aggressive in their press, almost a full press at the moment, trying to win the ball high up the pitch. You can see they're winning it in the 25 there.
Fell kindly for Kelly, but very quickly comes back with Keller, and could be a break here for the Swiss. Not too many opportunities. It's going to be a little bit behind here for Nicholas Stephan. Again, that seemed a rather hope and expectation, but did come off the hand of Dinny.
I think Switzerland just need to be clever as well. They're down a man for the next 10 minutes. They don't need to be rushing things. They need to be dribbling with the ball too much, trying to get into the D. If they can just keep the ball, recycle the ball round, and kind of run down the clock while trying to go forward as well. But their main aim for the next 10 minutes is to contain Wales.
Well, back with Wales, I think Manuel Keller's a little bit aggrieved. I think he might have been right just in the first few. It may have came off Wales last, but Wales have it. Long it goes. Hawker searching.
That was a great effort there by Hawker.
Done well to
sprinted about 20 metres there and got a full length dive, and he's managed to win his team a long corner.
Yeah, I was going to say, he did well to sort of not hit it off his body. Flying in, using the very greasy surface. Sun's back out here, so I'll try and keep updating with the rain as it comes, because it's very unpredictable, but it's good to see that back under some good sunshine for this second half, the third quarter. That's being collected back up here for Switzerland by Stephan.
Again, there's another example of Switzerland just need to be a bit cleverer. You know, they've won the ball there. They've tried to dribble through 3 Wales players. I mean, it's very, very difficult at the best of times. But he's no support. He just needs to keep the ball there, try and find a Swiss player. He's turned it over, and Wales are back in possession again.
Ball from Gooch. Hammer in and took a big deflection. Its way well over.
Important here to move the ball wide, as Wales have done.
Is it going to be picked up? It is. Good work by Kelly. Switch around for Gooch to go forward. Nice pass here for Dinny. Well, I think they were wanting the advantage there. Dinny kept on going, but they'll have to come back. Iron Wall tried to keep it alive. Goal against Wales.
Wales again getting themselves in a strong position along the baseline. You've got to be making more of that. You had an opportunity to maybe roll it off a foot or get the ball across the goal for a deflection.
Lovely ball this for Keller. Needing a bit of help. Nick Schwer was the only one in the D. Here is an opportunity. 4.5 minutes into the second half, Jan Houdel thought that was a wasted opportunity and just rushed again. Swiss just can't get any composure when they go forwards, and away goes Wales with Hutchison. Nice support out wide. Francis looking to find a gap, find a teammate, and then only found the Swiss player of Boris Stomps.
Game's definitely opened up here with a yellow card. Both teams dribbling with the ball a lot. You need to kind of refocus and start moving the ball a bit quicker. Although from Switzerland's point of view, that's 5 minutes gone on the card already. Wales need to be a bit more patient, just take their time. Look for the opportunity to create a 2v1 and they'll be in the D.
Here's Prosser continuing his run. Nice one in for Gooch, but stomps away. Keller getting held down in the corner. Marielli comes away with it. Now Schwer, he's on a run, on a mission by himself. A huge rush of Swiss bodies getting forward, coming at steady pace now.
I think Switzerland are starting to get a little bit more belief about themselves as well. Obviously starting to see there are gaps in the Welsh team. I still would like to see them move the ball a little bit quicker. They're dribbling quite a lot, which maybe takes you past the first man, but the second or third man will definitely tackle you. Just beat the first man and move the ball on and get yourself into the next space.
Furlong, Shipperley for Prosser, playing more down that left channel at the moment. Lash back to no one by Dolan Gray.
May have an impact on the Swiss later on in the game, spending 10 minutes with 10 men. Very, very tiring at this level to try and defend and attack with a man down, so as we get to the later stages of the game we might see that impacting on their play.
Grader going high. Keeper takes it, but Keller here has got it back. Feller just behind him, and well, that was maybe not the best from the keeper Kettle, but kind of just about got away with it.
It's always a difficult one, the lifted ball like that into the D. Sometimes the goalkeeper will come and take it because you've got the other players have to give you a 5 metres of a distance.
This is worked into the D. Hoodle was around if required, but taken by James Kyriakides, and Wales will get the chance to clear it. Oh, it's space opening up here. Draper switched across Carson, and it's smuggled away. Dolan Gray coming in. Shipley trying to help out its way. And arm out, but very quick as a flash, but Wales keep it here. And quickly on for Gooch, trying to up his pressure. Skittling around, and that was a deft touch. James Kyriakides has scored again for Wales in this competition, 2 in 2 games, and well, that was a bit of magic there.
Again, Wales just putting a lot of pressure on the Swiss. Ball comes in, it's a little bit of a hopeful ball again, but it gets poor touch there, and that's a fantastic little finish. Great awareness of where he is in the goal. Very difficult for the goalkeeper. You've no idea what he's going to do there, but fantastic awareness to just deflect that into the goal.
So a second for Wales, and this 10-minute yellow card period has now been punished with a goal.
I think it was all about patience there for Wales, and you can see Switzerland were starting to tire a little bit, and it just created a little space there for Wales to take advantage.
It's loose again from Stomps, and Shipperley trying to get it, but back it comes. Keller, Switzerland have to crank up a little bit now to try and keep themselves alive in the group.
It's important here that Switzerland just regain their composure. You know, 2-0 is not the end of the world, certainly at this stage. However, if Wales were to quickly get a third, then the game could be finished. Still plenty of time for them to come back in this game. And they've certainly shown in the last 10 minutes that they can create some opportunities.
Raider firing. Maple couldn't keep it in his
tackle
path. Michael, Owen Gray, I should say, made a good initial run. And space open up again here for Wales. Mugridge. And just slid away to some safety by Sandro Reinhardt.
You can see the difference in the play already. It was starting to be much more stretched. Far more opportunities.
Iron Wall to drive in. And it is taken and claimed. And James Carson with arms in the air. And there you are, that's 2 goals in this 10-minute yellow card period. And that could be the game for the Welsh.
Yeah, very much as I suggested. 10 minutes is a very, very long time to be defending. Wales again just played the ball to the outside. Ball's come across the D and James Carson is in a great position there. Swiss defender's probably on the wrong side, means he can't really get to the ball. Goalkeeper can't really come for that because of the angle it's come in at, and it's very easy deflection for James Carson there. Doesn't really have to do much, just get it going towards the goal.
I wonder what Yves Bernard is thinking just below us in the stand, sitting in the seat with a minute or so left of that yellow card. It's been a real, well, he's been influential in the wrong way for all 3 goals, and really 1 on the pitch and 2 just sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, not be very popular with his teammates.
Here's Shipperley. Wales maybe rack up 1 or 2 more goals this game. They feel like they're in the mood now. Draper weaving away. Came off Reinhardt. Here's Prosser. Reinhardt to try and bounce away.
Certainly Wales playing with a lot more confidence now. You know, they've got the 3-goal advantage. They can start to play with a bit more freedom, a bit more creativity, and look to try and score a few more goals.
Draper as Yves Bernard is back on the field after his 10 minutes.
Again, important the Swiss heads don't go down here. Still a full 20 minutes left of the game.
Prosser once more, good turn from Draper. Furlong continuing his run down that channel, just stopped again, but Wales in full control of this quarter and in the scoreboard stakes as well.
Yeah, and they're just moving the ball nicely, looking for opportunities to get into the D. Some nice skills there from Prosser. Furlong can take his time, just pick his pass. Swiss still pretty strong in defence though, defending their D very well.
Nice turn away though here from Keller. Prosser though, such an injury.
I think that was a good example of the difference between the teams. When Switzerland break, it's very much one man.
Dolan Gray across the face of goal, Hutchinson just behind him. Mugridge looking to turn. Prosser, it's going to stay alive for him to collect it back with ease. But that will come to an end.
Prosser just used all his experience there. Just let the Swiss player go for the ball. He knew he wasn't going to get it and just picked up the ball as he left it. Very solid performances from Wales. Working very hard as a team. I think, as I said, that's the main difference. Switzerland seem to go forward in individuals. Wales very much 2 and 3 players at all times, looking to support their player on the ball.
Daniel Kyriakidis for Iron Wall. Nice play from Dolan Gray, who got the opener.
Both teams having played yesterday might see a little bit of tiredness creeping in as well, but obviously Wales a bit more spring in their step, having 3 goals to the good.
Furlong just a little bit in front of Francis.
Switzerland making a lot of very, very basic errors. That could be down to the tiredness.
To Kyriakidis is linking up Daniel this time forwards for Wall, the talented 18-year-old. They come back for him. Quite find the ball through the legs.
Fairly solid challenge there. But Switzerland, had it been a bit closer, might be looking for a card there.
Bit of a log roll, nice strong challenge, but nothing coming from it. Seems the umpire just to play on with the free hit, and Switzerland try and get away from some sort of danger. Comes off Keller's foot, and Hawker quickly for Francis. James Kyriakidis. Furlong now. Hawker. Look at this. Oh, I'm waiting for Francis, who was the first man there, waiting for him to put it in, but somehow it hasn't.
Again, Wales getting a lot of success going down the outside channel, coming down the baseline. And just needed a stronger touch there to put that into the goal. Good defending by the Swiss.
Daniel Kyriakidis, and it's going to fly in now, and it's going to be another goal for James Kyriakidis. What a start to the tournament he's had. That's 3 now in the first couple of games. Big smile for him.
And it just shows the benefit of, as I've said it a few times, so if you get the ball into the D, make it difficult for the opposition. Ball's just kind of floating around there, and again Kyriakidis has got great awareness, knows exactly what he's doing, and he just lifts the ball into the far corner. Goalkeeper's coming out to try and put him under pressure, but can't get there quick enough.
Switzerland 0, Wales 4 then, as we've got 36 seconds of this third quarter. And well, it was 1-0 15 minutes ago. There has been a blitz from Wales this quarter.
Yeah, very much so. I think again we go back to that. I hate to dwell on it for the player, but
it's been a big moment.
The yellow card has really been the turning point of the game.
It's a game and now a result which will mean going like the Switzerland maybe will be trying to be in the half of the draw come the knockout stage, where they're trying to save their second tier status. They got a reprieve, should have been relegated a couple of years ago in 2015, finished 7th, but through Azerbaijan suspension, so they're off field. They got a reprieve for this competition. Have played well here, so they played well at World League One, but Wales, it was a tight game last year. It's very much not a tight game. It's still 15 to play. It is the Welsh who have the 4-0 lead here against the Swiss. Plenty to refresh and look back on over this couple-minute breather from this third quarter, which has been rather memorable for the Welsh supporters.
Just taking back to the first goal there again. Fantastic reverse stick finish. Goalkeeper's got absolutely no chance there.
That was nice and steady. 1-0 lead at the half-time break. Owen Donald Gray with the opener just into the second quarter in the 19th minute for 1-0. And then the flood came. Obviously, Yves Morad gave that goal away, effectively, or gave the ball away. And then he was yellow carded right at the end of the second quarter, which was then officially given as a 10-minute yellow, so a big delay. And then we've seen the flood of goals. James Kyriakidis, what a start he's had to the competition. 2 today, he scored yesterday, a decisive one yesterday, so he's off to a good start. James Carson, the one in the middle of that, 38, 39, 45. It's pretty good time, especially the 2 there during that 10-minute period, as we have to mention, because it was a pivotal moment, the yellow card, but the 2 during the yellow card period, that's exactly what you have to do, I guess, when you've got 10 minutes with an extra player.
Yeah, and I think even the timing, you can see that, you know, Wales were very patient. You know, they maybe were a little bit frustrated that they didn't take advantage early, but by having a patient approach, you know, they've used the full allocation of 10 minutes and got the 2 goals, and then the additional goal. It's really, I would suggest, put this game to bed already. Very difficult for Switzerland to come back now. And as you say, that might lead to them being in the relegation playoffs, which is not a place you want to be.
Just as tough as those trying to get up, as we've already discussed so far during the coverage about how close a lot of these teams are. Wales know themselves, if they have a bit of a bad tournament, they can be relegated, and that's what happened to them. And in their comeback to the second tier, it looks like it'll be 2 wins out of 2 in the group stage.
I think the big thing for the Swiss coaching staff will be how they recover from this. I think, you know, it's been a very disappointing game for them, but what they can't then do is start to continue to go downhill. They've got to regroup very quickly. Obviously they'll have a rest day tomorrow to get themselves ready for their third game leading into the crossovers. Very easy in a tournament like this for momentum, whichever way it's going, to continue. So they've got to try and change it quickly.
Draper trying to wheel away and comes into Nicholas Stephen.
But Wales are starting to, you know, just show what they're capable of. They've always been a fairly solid outfit, but they've played very well today, and I think they'll be growing in confidence, and that'll stand them in good stead for the rest of the tournament. And it's also worth noting they haven't scored any penalty corners.
Yes, there's been pretty quiet affair in the penalty corners.
Doesn't make a difference at this level, but
Shipperley won it back, found Kelly, and arms are in the air. Try and work out who's put that one in, because there was 4 or 5 players there. Certainly a team goal, because it's just stretched Switzerland up, and it is number 5.
I think what we feared might happen here. Wales are just picking them apart now. They've had a lot of joy, as I've said before, down the channel, outside channels. You get that much time just playing the ball in, and there's 3 or 4 players there diving in, so they're all keen to score. They're all getting opportunities now when they're diving in, getting a deflection. Goalkeeper, again, very difficult in that situation. Could do with a little bit more support from his defence.
So number 5 for Wales, and it is been a bit of a cruise as the 3rd and 4th quarters have went. There's still plenty of time left in this one. James Carson, it was in the end. He did have his arms in the air. I wasn't quite sure if it was him that got the final touch in there, but he is the one that's going to get it. So a double for him, a double for Kyriakidis, 1 for Dolan Gray. Not a bad afternoon. A bit of a share around of the goals. But here's Johnny Gooch just getting the share of the hockey centre here in Glasgow, running all the way. Running all the way. Oh, it's another one. And set up by Gooch. The umpire whistle does peep, but it looks like should stand, but we're going to have a quick talk anyway.
Switzerland in danger of capitulating here. Gooch just ran right down the middle of the pitch. No one has gone to meet him. There's a few attempts at a tackle, but he's still in control of the ball.
Yellow card's been flung out in the middle of that, I think, for Jan Hurdle.
And a nice, again, another deflection, another deflection. A lot of joy, Wales. You know, we're getting the ball in strong positions on the baseline and then playing the ball back for deflections.
Yeah, so that was what the whistles and umpires were having a chat about. Yellow card being shown for Jan Hurdle.
You need to be careful there.
Not happy at all. Change. Fortnum is coming to come on here for Wales in goal for David Kettle. Game obviously won. So a bit of a keeper change. And a bit of a mess for the Swiss in the last couple of minutes.
Again, good to see Fortnum getting some experience. Not always easy if you're not the first choice goalkeeper in a tournament like this, particularly if your team's one of the stronger teams. You might not get much game time, so opportunity to get him on the pitch. But as I said, Switzerland are in big danger here of just falling apart.
Well, Wales are ramping it forward again. Rupert Shipley, just to confirm, was the one that did get the touch in the end of that. Again, it was well worked. See, Gooch was the one that really made it for Shipley, whose play has deserved a goal. He's really been lively, physical threat bit of a playmaker, just roves around. Another one of the side for this Wales team that has a very good engine on it. Fire down and didn't get quite the touch. Benjamin Francis might have nicked something, but no one behind.
I think you're absolutely right for Shipperley. He's been fantastic this game. As you said, he's been all over the pitch. Got his just rewards there with his goal. I think the credit should go to the whole team. I mean, they've really worked very hard, getting themselves in great positions, and it's very easy for the forwards to score those goals. Again, Wales will be looking now to just push on, see if they can get a couple more goals.
So they're running away for Benoit Vaishodat.
And Wales just going back to their patient approach. No rush, just keep moving the ball, nice and easy. And that's Prosser just patrolling the middle of the pitch again. And he's controlled the game.
James Kiriki is looking to the back, but Swiss take it here, and a couple here. Here is Yves Morad. Space open up for Vaishodat. Gail Vaishodat that was. But in the end doesn't come to anything. It was a nice run, nice move, but just the two of them really making the move.
Yeah, done well to create the space there, just a little lead outside, then back to the inside, confusing the Welsh defence. I think they're a little bit unfortunate there. A little push there from the Welsh defender could have been construed as a foul there, but the umpire obviously thought differently.
Well, James Fortin might take that onto the top pocket, a little saved since coming on. So, good moment for him, a little moment for him coming off the sidelines, the replacement keeper.
Yeah, having done that before myself, it's never easy to come into a game. No matter if your team's winning 6-0, you don't want to be losing the goal. You want to keep a nice clean sheet. Builds a lot of confidence for the team, so it's quite difficult to be sitting down for a length of time then come on. So you'll certainly take some confidence from that. Okay, again, lots of rotation from Wales in the midfield, just creating space quite easily. Switzerland kind of playing man to man, so if you get a little bit of movement from your midfield, you can quite easily get the ball.
Prosser took his time trying to seize it up. Taken though by Greda.
I think Switzerland will be quite happy if they blow the full-time whistle just now. Maybe if they get a couple of goals, it might just give them a little bit of a boost for the remaining games. They're probably quite keen just to get back to the hotel now.
Prosser for James Kinnicky. Cross, or attempted to get across by Francis. I think one thing with Switzerland, we've seen them over the last 12 months, certainly in the competitions here in Glasgow and even yesterday. They do play well, they've got a decent team. But maybe, like say Howdall, talking about Yves Morad a lot, there have been 2 or 3 of their key players maybe not quite at the same level as yesterday. Tyron was going to be one of those, but thought there was a half chance here if they played really well, Switzerland, that they could cause serious problem for Wales, but hasn't really materialised. Maybe though, on the flip side, the yellow card just flipped the game in Wales' direction, a couple of quick goals, and then confidence and everything just drains. So there's a couple of ways to look at it, but Switzerland just hasn't felt it's been quite, certainly in the attacking third, had the momentum as they try and find a consolation through Fella.
I think you touched on it, and 2 things there that are quite important. Obviously the tiredness factor, playing 2 games in 2 days is very draining, and the yellow card, but obviously you've got 2 or 3 key players, that's maybe good at a certain level. I think to play at this level you really need to have a squad of 18 top international players. You're making so many substitutions, they're changing so quickly that you've really got to have everyone on the same level if possible.
Now Space Hutchison with Francis, and 3 or 4 minds, 3 or 4 options, not one found. Grader stole again. That's forward from Marielli, he's going to get it back. Switzerland still trying to find something, but they've just not created enough chances even before the bit of collapse in the third quarter.
they've played very well, probably up to the 25-yard line, but they've never really done much in the circles. They've got the short corner, but apart from that, there's not much been happening for them. Wales have dealt with everything pretty comfortably.
Hawker, not one of his best passes, showing some frustration.
You can let him away with that at 6-0.
I won't repeat what he said though, because I heard that, but can't repeat what he said.
Yeah, probably best not.
Oh, it's hammering again. If they have done this, the Swiss, it's usually been the hit and hope type.
They've really got. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that ball. They've got to just get somebody across the goalkeeper. I mean, if he's got a full sight of that, he's going to kick that away all day.
Schneider back to give us Marad. Wales could now capitalise. Marielli trying to stop Gooch.
And Smith's guilty there of trying to go through a player.
Prosser, oh, that's been missed here, didn't he? This could set up Hawker, and it's went in. And they were in trouble as soon as they got on, and that was missed over the top. And that is another goal for Wales, just under 6 to play in the quarter.
Again, just a catalogue of errors from the Swiss there. Giving the ball away early, missing the overhead. You know, there's 4 Wales players in the D, 1 defender, goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's very, very unlucky. It's a great effort to try and save that, but you know, really Switzerland are not helping themselves here. Making a lot of very, very basic errors, which are being punished, to be fair, by Wales, which is good from their point of view. They've been clinical when they're given the opportunity, so again they'll take a lot of confidence from that leading into the next games. And Hawker has been a very effective forward for them today. A constant threat, so again for him to get the goal, well deserved.
Yeah, Hawker pivotal, chipping in with some goals during the World League run, which Wales went to the second round in the Scotland group for round 1 and round 2. Hawker with 2 goals in round 1, just a solitary goal in round 2, but helped all the same.
I think it's been a very strong all-round performance from Wales. You know, they've been very, very solid in defence. Midfield, they've created a lot of opportunities and they've taken their chances.
Miko Moran again, cheap giveaway, Shipley across the face of the goal, and a kind of penalty corner.
Very quickly going downhill here for Switzerland.
Yeah, to use a cricketing term, it's been a bit of a collapse.
Again though, Wales keeping it very, very simple, getting the ball to the baseline, players strong coming along the baseline, and when you're defending in that position it's very, very difficult. The offensive player has the advantage. As soon as you commit to try and win the ball, they're just going to roll the ball off your foot, so you're in a kind of no-win situation. It'll be interesting to see if Furlong can score here, or else we've maybe jinxed him for the whole game.
Well, he's been a bit quieter this game, so maybe 1 or 2 key players from both sides will be a bit quieter due to the 2 games in 2 games, but we'll see. It is going to be Furlong. He needs a trademark goal. It's a good save though from the Swiss keeper Verest.
Yeah, very good save. I mean, it was a reasonable flick. It was a good injection to the top D. Maybe a little bit far out, but he's got good power behind it, but the goalkeeper's made a very good save there with his glove. Looks fairly comfortable.
Daniel Kyriakidis down here for Mugridge. Shipperley just turns away. 1 or 2 dummies I think going on in there, look like it. Dolegray couldn't quite find his man, but stays with Wales and Prosser. Well, trying to steal a little nick was Dolegray second time. Jan Houdel, of course, served that yellow card 5 minutes earlier in the quarter.
Wales play with a lot more freedom now.
Oh, Prosser stealing back. This could be hat-trick time for Carson, and he will take it. James Carson, take the ball away because it's probably worth a few quid.
I think Switzerland again, the architects of their own downfall. They've got the ball. He just needs to roll the ball there onto his teammate. Prosser picks it off. Carson, I mean, that is again fantastic skill. The goalkeeper's got to go for the ball, lift it over, and just put it in the goal for the hat trick. Pretty happy with himself. But again, Switzerland just guilty of dwelling on the ball. Probably a combination of the scoreline, tiredness, and Wales, very quick to win the ball and take advantage. And this is in danger of getting to double figures.
Yeah, there's still time left. Just over 3.5 minutes.
I already said it, but I think it's imperative the Swiss team kind of regroup quite quickly. They've probably got to reflect on this and put it to bed quite quickly.
Will the day rests for likes of Switzerland help them try and regroup and recover, or it'll be maybe one thing they might stew over because they've got a day to think about it?
It's quite difficult sometimes, because what you'd like ideally is to get back on the pitch as quickly as possible to try and put right the wrongs, but I suppose it does give them a chance to really go into depth in their analysis of the game and see where the key factors were that maybe led to their downfall.
Another defence mistake quite quickly gave this back to Wales. It was Marard, it was a poor pass, and forward from Daniel Kyriakidis into the D, penalty corner.
I think Switzerland are just guilty of a lot of individual errors. I don't think there's been a collective problem, but individually they seem to have made a lot of errors, which has been capitalised on by the Welsh team. Another chance for Furlong here.
So Schipperle heading across with the injection. Carson's got his hat trick, so he may well leave us for Furlong to have another go. No, it's going to be Carson, blocked and away.
Yeah, I thought that would be another penalty corner there. Good running by the Swiss number one runner, but hit his body, so unfortunately did his job, but it'll be another penalty corner.
Yeah, that was the ricochet came in. Good work from Thomas Hollick and Xavier Fener. The two umpires took a moment just to chat it through to make sure they were going to get the right decision.
It's probably not the most sensible position to be doing, but running number one runner basically runs straight down the line of the ball, trying to make the flicker go round him, so the goalkeeper's got a slight bit more time to try and save it.
Carson again, and 4 goals. They're celebrating before the umpire signalled, and it is 9, and there's still over 2 minutes left, and Switzerland, they have been counted out big time.
Again, good injection by Schipperle. Perfect trap and flick. Goalkeeper, I think, will be disappointed with that. It's low to his right hand side. He's got a piece of the ball. He should really be looking to turn that around the post, but I think Carson will be quite happy. 4 goals in an international match, can't really argue with that. Again, if it's the benefit there of having two international level flickers at the top D as well, so obviously we've talked a lot about Furlong, but they've got a second option there which could prove crucial in the later stages of the tournament.
Bit of variety. Carson, 3 goals from open play and the penalty corner goal, so shows how much on these games been today. Sometimes you see when teams are dominant, they kind of just relax and leave it be, but they've been ruthless, Wales. Every time they've had a sniff of a chance, they've taken it as the game's got on and the scores got bigger.
Yeah, I think that's what I've been most impressed by, is the fact they didn't just relax. At 4-0 at half time, the game was finished. They then come out in the second half, and obviously they scored 2 quick goals which would have deflated the Swiss a little bit, but they've just kept going. They've been relentless, and they've got the rewards.
Ball one, but Feller trying to keep the energy up to give it away, but Wales with it again very quickly. My own wall.
I think Wales will certainly enjoy their rest day a lot more than the Swiss.
Now, Wales are first up on Wednesday when they play Russia. And Switzerland will be playing the Czech Republic. It'll be real interesting to see what happens with the game later. And it goes again. Francis was there looking, and Wales will lose their chance to try and work the rest of that because the umpire's arm's out the other way.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to see, but I think the advantage is always going to go to the defender. He's got to stick on the ball. Very difficult to claim that you've taken the ball cleanly from there. Well, he has given. Well, he looks like he's going to give a bully, but he has given it to Switzerland. I think that game you mentioned on Wednesday is obviously going to be crucial for deciding the final placings in the pool. Obviously, if you top the group, you get the perceived easier semi-final, if you like, because you're playing against the second place team from the other pool. But really, at that stage, whoever you're playing is going to be a difficult game, and a lot of pressure on that. Probably more pressure on that than the final, because if you get to the final, you're already promoted.
So that'll do then. Very comprehensive from Wales. 9 goals scored. James Carson with 4 of those. And James Kirikida's got a couple in for the bargain. And also Hawker, Shipperley and Dolan Gray got things off and running. You can remember that all the way back in the 19th minute. Goals just seemed to flood in more and more as the game headed towards the end. So many goals. We'll concentrate on this final quarter and bring you some of the best of the goals that we've seen in the latter stages. And Wales, they were just ramping through gears here towards the end. Or we'll certainly talk about the goals. Certainly performance-wise, James Carson, 3 goals will play, some sublime goals, some good runs, and also the penalty corner, certainly the star name in terms of goals.
Yeah, very much so. He's certainly, he will probably get the man of the match just on his goals. But I think all round Wales had a fantastic performance. I mean, there was an opportunity very early in the game for the Swiss to take the lead, and David Kettle made the save. From there, Wales pretty much controlled everything. As I said, a lot of experience in the back line. It's taken their time. They know how to set up. They're very disciplined in the defence. Midfield-wise, a lot of rotation. With Lewis Prosser sitting in the midfield just to give them that little bit of an anchor, and that allows the forwards the freedom, Luke Hawker and Shipperley, to play with a little bit more freedom up front, and they certainly took advantage.
So Wales with a great start. Switzerland now may be looking over their shoulders come the weekend with their games. Obviously another game to come. 9-0 confirmation there for Wales. Czech Republic against Russia, 6:30 that is. We're near just before then for that game. Thoughts on that one? Because obviously big game now. Both sides have seen what's happened here, and both sides need to think about getting 3 points to stick around in this competition. Russia to level up with Wales, for Czech Republic to stay in with a chance of getting through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, I think both teams will be approaching it very much as the two teams did at the start here. It'll be a very cagey affair with neither team wanting to give much away in the first quarter. And again, I think the first goal will be absolutely crucial. I think we saw in this game that once Wales had got ahead, obviously the yellow card proved crucial. But for Czech Republic, it's a game they need to win if they want to stay in the top 2.
Well, it's been great to get your thoughts, Mark. I believe you're back with us for the Scotland-Ukraine game on Wednesday. So we'll see you then. Thanks, and hopefully you've enjoyed the match. So
yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So thanks to Mark for joining us. Thanks to you for watching our live coverage. We'll be back ahead of the game at 6:30. The next game in this group is Czech Republic against Russia. We will see you then, but we'll leave you for the moment with the final score in the first game here of the day. Switzerland 0, Wales 9.